Yeah, double loop. Well, infinite loop.
Yeah, this is working. Hey guys, welcome to the OC Show, Season 2, Episode 13. As you can see, we had some looping of the introductions. Of course, this is due to Timothée being the producer today. And here with us tonight, we're going to have Timothée.
Yeah, hi. Of course. Sorry guys for the super loop. My bad.
And we're going to have our long-time partner and guest from HWBot, Mr. Massman.
Hey.
What's up?
Whoa, super enthusiastic tonight, I can see.
It's Monday morning.
Yeah, like every Monday morning, never very easy.
I'm sure the viewers will understand.
So thank you, Peter, for being with us today. I would have said tonight, but for you guys, it's already in the morning, on Monday morning. We're gonna have a few topics for today in this OC show. Don't forget, guys, that this OC show is a bi-weekly show. We do that every 2 weeks. We do that on a Sunday evening, 9 p.m. here in Eastern Canada or Eastern America. It's pretty much the same. And we usually have some guests, and the guest for tonight is Peter. So, guys, what was the week for you before we start the show?
The what?
The week.
Oh, the week was great. Excellent.
Yeah, the week was not bad.
I did some poetry this weekend.
So we're gonna have a few topics for tonight. We have the update on all the competitions happening at oc-esports on the website. So oc-esports.io. That's the competition website for HWBot. All the overclocking competitions are happening right there. There's a few competitions that finished, and we did talk in the last OC show, the one that you can see on YouTube. And we will also see some of the new competitions and the ones that are running right now. There's actually quite a few competitions going on, and we'll have the time to present them and talk about all that. Second topic will be 0.0 that find a way to unlock the mobile Haswell CPU. As you know, the mobile CPU are supposed to be locked. You cannot change the multiplier, but 0.0 find a way to do it and manage to reach one of the top score with his laptops. That's going to be interesting to talk about that. Third topic, and that's the one I was spending most of my weekend, the ESWC, the Electronic Sports World Cup, and what do gamers think about the hardware. That was the ESWC final for Counter-Strike Global Offensive here in Montreal, Canada, and that just finished actually like an hour ago. I just came back just a bit early for that. We wanted to know what did the gamer from CSGO think, and what did they know about hardware and what they wanted to do with it. So we asked a few questions, and we have some good talk from Miss Harvey. She's actually from one of the team that managed to be the first team at the ESWC final. So they won that, and they are the best, actually the winner of the ESWC final for CSGO 2015. And the last topic that will be like our discussions and more open discussions with our guest Massman is the discussion about Skylake. It's around the corner. What can we expect from it? There's already some leaks going on the internet, so we're gonna have the time to discuss all that. Don't forget, guys, we are always monitoring the live chat, and if you have any questions, you can always ask us right in there. And if you're new to this, you can always subscribe and follow us on the different social media. I want to say hi to Transmetaneven that is already there with us. And thank you, man, for being being around. And if you have anything to ask questions, just feel free to ask. Right?
Of course,
guys.
Yes.
First topic.
Yes, first topic. Go ahead, Truth.
So, competitions happening on oc-esports.io.
Yeah.
So what was going on during the past week? Peter, I saw that you did some announcement video, right?
Well, we did a winner announcement video, not specifically an announcement for the competitions. Yeah, so we're trying out something new with video and seeing how people, if they like it or not. So far, the responses has been fairly good. Yeah.
So that's good. So we were having the Rookie Rumble 19 that finished. So that one we did talk about it in the OC show that was recorded. The Rookie Rumble 20 is actually going on right now. If we go to the schedule, so that's the thing. If you guys want to know what's happening on in terms of all the competitions that are happening on oc-esports.io, the best way to check it is to go to the schedule page and then find out which are the ones that are running at the moment. So this one was opening on the 4th of July. We're actually in the middle because there's only 12 days left.
Yeah.
And so far it's a French guy being on top. Yeah.
Actually, Britoflex was in the top 3 last time.
And he has 50 points in the first and the third stage, so
it's gonna be a tough one for the French guy. I guess.
What do you guys expect from this Rookie Rumble 20 actually?
More participants.
I'm not sure. Well, I'm not sure about that. Traditionally, summers are always a little bit more down for overclocking because our largest user base is the US and Europe, and especially in Europe, you have a heat wave right now, which is not optimal for competitive overclocking.
So is that why most Europeans have bad scores at the moment?
I'm not sure if they have bad scores, but it's what we usually see in terms of activity.
Yeah, Europe is usually more calm in the summer for sure. America as well.
Yeah, and everyone's on a holiday as well in Europe. 3 weeks of vacation usually.
Yeah, what we can see actually from those rankings is that there's a lot less Costa Rican in the ranking than in the previous one.
Yeah, I think the previous Costa Ricans, they signed up for with their new team and then they all joined the Rookie Rumble, and now they move on to the Novice Nimble.
Yeah, so less Costa Rican and a lot more Americans.
For the people that joined the Rookie Rumble is just the first step, and you can move away from the Rookie Rumble actually quite fast. If you want to move to the Novice Nimble right after, you can do it, Peter.
Yes.
Yeah, you can go straight there if you want to. At the same time.
So you're not forced to stay 3 months in the Rookie Rumble.
No.
Like you're repeat up to 3 months in that competition.
No, you're a rookie for 3 months. That's your position.
Yeah, you have no choice. You can only go to Extreme straight if you want to.
Yeah.
Sure. Let me start overclocking and go straight to liquid nitrogen.
We've seen some rookies go directly to Extreme.
Yeah, like the French guy did that.
The French guy, Orion 24. That's actually pretty much what he did in like less than 4 months. He went from like tuning away making an account on the website, and then 3 months after like trying dry ice, and then now he's trying LN2. It's actually quite impressive.
Yeah, for sure.
Did he already submit his scores though? Because I think he's still in Novice.
I'm not so sure.
I don't know. I haven't checked, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know.
So the Rookie Rumble is always the same. You have to do a XTU benchmark, the number per core. The score is divided by the number of core. You have to do HWBot Prime, and you also have to do GPU Pi for CPU 100M for this one.
Yep.
Peter, did you have any feedback regarding the GPU Pi usage? Because now it's an official benchmark for HWBot.
Overall, people are very happy with the integration. I think the integration itself is actually probably the best part of GPU Pi. It's really easy to make your submission and then enter the competition as well. It's also sort of tweakable, like Super Pi. So even the diehard overclockers seem to like it to a certain degree. There's always people who don't like a benchmark, which is fine.
But the interface is very similar to Super Pi as well. Like it's all the same style.
In general, the response is very, very good.
Yeah, actually, I wanted to say also that for GPU Pi, what is interesting is what I like is all the screenshot stuff and things like that. That's also pretty cool. Makes the life a little bit more easier for the noobs or people that don't have the right stuff, that don't know what to do.
If you want to sum up the Rookie Rumble 20 that is going on right now, BritOFX has 2 very strong scores in stage 1 and stage 3. Yes, a lot of a good advance on the XTU score, but it's also have a good advance on the GPU Pi for CPU. But there's still 12 days left, so guys, if you're in the Rookie Rumble, just go catch them and try to
what am I doing there?
Go as close as them.
Yeah, actually, at the same time, I'm playing the video of Peter announcing the results of the Rookie Rumble 19. So if you guys have questions about what happened in the previous round, because we were mentioning the Costa Ricans and Britoflex, you were saying truth. That's a cool way to know what happened and see the picture of the rigs of the guys and things like this.
Well, I did like the winner announcement video because you have like in 3 minutes you know exactly what happened in the last competition that just finished. So that's a good way to catch up. Like in the morning, just watch the video and it's like, oh yeah, okay, this guy that won and so on. So
they're actually even shorter now,
less
than 3 minutes.
No.
Sorry?
The last one we did is even less than 3 minutes, like a minute and a half. So it's good, yeah.
With a couple of funny noises and imagery.
So guys, moving to the second Rookie Rumble. So there's always the one based on the Intel and the one is based on the AMD. So the AMD one, there's usually a bit less people.
There's always less people, yeah. It's AMD. What do you expect? More people?
Well,
no.
that costs less to get in, huh?
Yeah. Well, let's see.
And if
how
you're
many
just
people.
starting, you won't buy.
See, already 5 overclockers.
5 compared to 130.
It's really sad, actually. If you look at the, it's pretty terrible.
And it's open to any AMD CPU. It's not that it's specifically one CPU. And what we also usually see is like the winners are Semprons. I think very rarely I've seen an FX CPU in the AMD. It's always either Semprons or A6 APUs.
Yeah, so older machines already.
Yeah, it's a bit sad, but
there's nothing we can do.
We have it up there anyway for the AMD fans.
Yeah, well, there's always
But
a few
still,
fans, but yeah.
That means you have all your chance to compete and at least get a decent position, like top 10.
Hey, it's easy. It's easier to get esports points on this one. That's for sure.
For sure, yeah.
Like if you're craving for points, that's probably the one you should try out. But then again, you have to like benching on AMD.
Yeah. Yeah. AMD is a lot of fun to play with. It's just that.
Hey, they say it's all unlocked, right?
It is all unlocked. That's the
should be more fun. But yeah.
I do like to bench on the AMD. It's okay. It's not much easier, but when you're using LN2, it is much easier. But otherwise, of course, for air cooling and regular water cooling, it's a bit different than the Intel one. You scale not the same.
You cannot use LN2 in the Rookie Rumble. Truth, you can't.
Yeah,
it's
I
not
know,
allowed.
but
So it's not gonna help you out.
Like a white statement that people.
No. It's not allowed. Doesn't matter how much you argue. It's not allowed. You cannot join with liquid nitrogen.
Anyway, I cannot join. I have more than 3 months old. I need to recruit and I can't participate in the Rookie Rumble. Damn it.
Yeah.
Well, it's not like I have like 7 scores.
Yeah, right. Actually, if you bench mobile now, you have a lot. Like I think there's a lot more people benching mobile CPUs than AMD anyway.
From last quarter statistics, we did see that Qualcomm was more popular than AMD.
Yeah.
So we had more submissions with Qualcomm SoCs in this case than AMD CPUs.
Yeah, I think that's it. That just tells the story.
Yeah, that says a lot.
The smartphone didn't got Intel, but they got AMD for sure.
Yeah.
Because if you don't want to build a PC and invest in hardware, AMD was usually the cheaper choice. But now it's just use your phone,
They made the announcement at E3 when they were launching the Fury X graphics card that they didn't want to be the economical choice anymore. They wanted to be regarded as a premium supplier of hardware. That was what they wanted to do. So maybe next year. But
still, then all the graphics cards like the Fury X, they're all still priced as a mid high range.
No, it's a premium. If you pay $650 for a graphics card, it's a premium graphics card.
It's a premium.
Yeah.
But it's not 1,000 like
it's not like Titan X.
The Fury is definitely not cheap. It's cheaper than the counterpart from Nvidia, but Nvidia dropped the price this week although at the same time. So the Fury is not that cheap. I mean, if you go for the Fury, it's kind of like a premium, and it's a new like the HBM, the stacked memory is something that is completely new. So it's kind of like you're using like the first consumer product available with this kind of hardware. So it's a premium and early adopter.
Yep.
Well, that's we could talk about the Fury a little bit more because that was the score for the Fury got revealed like this week. The Fury price is $550 pretty much, the recommended price, but Nvidia adjust the pricing of the 980 again this week, so it's a bit like they're trying to be better than the next one or be better than the other one, but Like the price is always changing, so you cannot make a definitive choice on which one you can choose.
Like judging from the reviews, from the more credible review site, it almost looks like you can either go for a 980 Ti or a Fury X. If you look at just pure performance and price, what's important is the extra features you get with it. So with NVIDIA, you'll get GameWorks, and you get I think a faster update of official drivers as well. Whereas with AMD, you don't really
get updates.
They released a new driver last week for the Fury X, but it's that kind of an experience where you can make either choice, either solution will be fine. You're not gonna be ripped off in terms of performance or in price. It's just that you'll have to figure out which card just suits your system better.
Yeah, I think from what I saw, all the NVIDIA stuff now, it's a lot more towards gaming stuff. So they have this kind of shop inside the sort of thing you can buy games, and kind of becoming a Steam competitor in some way.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure about that. The interesting bit about NVIDIA is that I think they work closer with the game developers, in a sense that for special effects or better rendering techniques, they would supply the game developers with DLLs. That they basically go to the game developer and says, "Hey, you use this library, and then you'll have
the best results.
And then you'll have this and this and this benefit. It will work a lot better on NVIDIA graphics."
Yeah.
And AMD doesn't really have that.
Yeah.
So a lot of the game developers, they go with whatever NVIDIA is supplying because it's basically plug and play. So they have all the visual eye candy that's delivered at a decent performance level.
Yeah, that's also maybe why every time AMD launches, they come with those technologies with their card. It's like they just launch it and then announce a lot of different technologies, but you never see them integrated in games. Or usually you have to wait forever until it's there or actually being used.
AMD did announce that they would no longer put any development in Mantle. So if Mantle,
which was their big thing 2 years ago. Well, yeah, that was 2 years ago.
Maybe a year ago or something like that. Yeah. Mantle was supposed to be was supposed to be the new big thing.
But it lasted very long. It was interesting though, but didn't work out.
Well, DirectX 12 is doing something similar, so it's not necessary to have Mantle
anymore. Yeah.
Well, that's just going to be the fight of the API then. So.
Well, it's
how that turn out.
Technology fight.
But DirectX 12 will definitely reduce the impact from the CPU on the global performances. So it's a good and a bad way at the same time. But we already have too much power for what we need in the CPU space. So
one of the cool bits about DirectX 12 is that it's finally going to allow the GPU to communicate with all the cores of your CPU instead of just the primary one. So in a way, it will be less overhead of the CPU. But in another way, in another sense, it might also be more interesting to add more workload to the CPU. If you can address all the cores, what can you do with that,
Yeah.
True. Well, that was a good discussion just talking about the Rookie Rumble.
That was totally off topic, guys.
So after the Rookie Rumble, there is the Novice Nimble. The Novice Nimble number 3 is actually going on right now.
Yeah, of course.
It's open until July 25.
Yeah, there's probably not so much to say at the moment. It's pretty similar to all the other Novice Nimble.
It is important to say that the French team Cocodland is still first.
Okay,
still working on all the stages.
I agree. We should say the French guys are in the lead and not care so much about the rest of the ranking. Actually, hardware.info is second. I guess that was predictable, and I'm sure those two teams are probably gonna have a fight. But I think the French guys right now are pretty much at the top of their game, so there's nothing anyone can do. Overclock.net
domination.
Well, actually, Overclock.net seems to be slowly going up the ranking. They used to be around 6, 7, like they're on the first Novice Nimble, so now slightly going up. So it's gonna be interesting. And the Italian guys, those guys were, I think, in the top 3 last time already.
Might be, yes.
Yeah. So
I'm expecting something from TechLab Terabyte team. And when all their rookies move to Novice, I wonder what's going to happen.
It's going to be interesting because they have a lot of novices, a lot of rookies at the moment.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, it's actually it's Peter. That would be funny to see if we can trace back the number of Rookie Rumble users that switch back to novice and now the team ranks. So if you have more users, that means you have more chance to be on the top.
Or if you have a good rookie, does that help you in to be a good novice team, or something like this? Like by basically recruiting the good players.
Oh, send me an email with a request. I'll process it.
You want a private message on the forums, like one of the 300 that you didn't read yet?
I read them all in my email. I don't read them on the forum.
All right. I think what we should also mention is the new competitions, the ones that just started.
The one with the massive banner.
Z97 Last Ray.
Yeah,
challenge.
of course. So that one started this weekend, and
Last Friday.
Last Friday, yeah. So what is this one about? Yeah.
It's Gigabyte's last challenge to the overclocking community on Z97 before
its end of life.
Before the next generation comes.
I think pretty much everything is leaked anyway, so we can speak on well, that's another topic later on. But
we're gonna have time to speak about that at the end of the show.
Yeah, so let's focus on Z97.
Yeah, so there are two categories: one for ambient overclocking and one for extreme overclocking.
Yep.
Each have 4 stages. Each stage winner wins $250, and there's also 2 mystery motherboards that will be as a prize that will be announced later next month.
Well.
Unannounced yet?
Unannounced, yes.
It's like all those competitions with unannounced hardware. It's not that hard to guess. So how many people right now? Where do you prefer to go, extreme or ambient?
So in the ambient, there's only 3 people competing right now, but there's 48 days left. So guys, you can just tune in, and if you like XTU or Geekbench or GPU Pi, you have all your chance to compete in this competition.
Yeah.
On the extreme, there's all of 3 guys. There's from Germany. There's Lukinu from Indonesia. He's actually benching it live. He was benching it live.
Yeah, I got some pictures of that. Okay, I will show you later.
And there's FGI, but I can't remember which country he is from.
Woohoo! There's a Belgian on top in the extreme one.
Take a screenshot. That won't last.
Forza Belgica.
It's not against you, Skull Station. It's just more to tease Massman.
Well, that's cool. It's cool.
So Gigabyte is hosting this Z97 one. So if you have a Gigabyte Z97 motherboard and you want to, I guess, upgrade for the next one, unreleased hardware, pretty much, you should actually participate in that one. You have all your chance to win, and you can participate. Peter, can you participate in both ambient and extreme?
Yep. There's no limitation on. It's not like with the in the ASUS competition. It's either
it's one or the other.
It's
right?
one or the other, and this one you can participate in both.
Well, that's good.
Also, the one-off phases are actually based on the leaks, right?
Sorry?
The one-off phases is based on the
yeah,
leaks.
correct. And
this one is not related to the...
It's based on just the cooling that you use.
So you have to prove your temperature is not...
Yep.
Yeah.
Same for this one, the ambient category. We have to prove that we're not using Sub-Zero something.
Yeah, for sure. System picture plus, all the usual stuff.
So you cannot try to cheat.
Well, you can try, but Christian they will
You're gonna get caught by Christian.
Yeah.
So guys, there's 48 days left in this Gigabyte Z97 Last Ray challenge.
Yeah, it's gonna last for the month. So.
And that's pretty much one of the last with the DDR3 too.
Well, yes, that's gonna be pretty much the last with the ROG one and then the other ones.
So these 2 competitions, the ROG OC Showdown Formula, as well as the Gigabyte Z97 Last Array Challenge, are probably the last competitions we will see from D97 and the last on DDR3. Because if Skylake is around the corner, that's gonna be DDR4 all the way.
Yeah. Actually, pretty interesting. There's a lot of overclockers in the ROG one. 120.
120 overclockers. Actually, it's 8 days left.
It's not bad at all. It's gonna be tough. Oh, Vadim. He's actually top of his leagues.
Vadim UA.
Vadim UA from Ukraine. Actually, it's good. You can train your flag skills.
I don't have any issues with the flags. I'm not sure who has.
I have issues with the flags. For example, this one.
Peru.
Wow, I would not have guessed. Is it?
Is that Portugal?
No, that's not
Portugal.
Portugal.
True.
Peru.
What's wrong with you? Why would you even think that's Portugal? The colors are completely different. Portugal is red and green. Shame on you. Shame on you.
Yeah. Actually, since we are talking, about what was going on last weekend, Truth, you mentioned the Jagged Review guys. They were doing some live benching for the Gigabyte competition. So I asked Alva if he could join on the stream, but he could not. So he's gonna probably maybe join in 2 weeks to talk about Jagged OC and things like this. So what they had this weekend was the Jagged Review reader gathering. So it's like some big events. They hosted in 2 different cities. Indonesia again, you have to think of scale and people. So so they had to do 2 gatherings for all their readers. That's how much readers they have. And they basically were having some presentation explaining how they're testing for reviews and things like that, explaining where the publication is going to, what's in the pipeline and things like this. And for you guys, if you follow the scene in Indonesia, Alva, which is a champion of MOA and all those competitions, he, I think a few months ago, he launched a new site which is called Jagged OC, which is basically the same name than the overclocking team they used to have. And they do reviews and tests and quick guides on how to overclock, like usually mid-range, low-end hardware, which is more likely what is of interest for for the Indonesian market. And at this event, they were also like showing off a bit of overclocking with G3258, so the Intel Pentium Anniversary Edition, some Gigabyte Z97 motherboard, like you can see, and just benching for that competition, showing off some.
That's a massive turnout.
Some interesting stuff.
That was actually great that they were showing up and explaining what they were doing and talking about the Jagged OC thing. So it's kind of like an extension to Jagged Review, like a separate website where they focus only on overclocking topics.
Because they used to have a category on Jagged Review, but it kind of, you end up with a category for overclocking, and then you add all those subcategories of the main category, and so you have the VMod, you have the guides, and that's really hard. It was quite hard to find content because in the end it was all in one role, so it was not that easy to actually find back the stuff. So I think now
that was in Indonesian too.
that's for us, yes, but I mean even for their readers, I think now it's a lot more practical, and it's actually pretty cool. I finally think I think Alva was really happy about that. He will probably tell us better what's the master plan behind Jagged OC. I'm sure there is one.
$1 million.
Maybe there's $1 million plan. Who knows? So yeah, a lot of people. Was pretty cool. We'll see if we can get him in 2 weeks to talk about that. So yeah,
that would be cool. Don't forget, guys, we're monitoring the live chat. I had a slight issue. I thought I was monitoring it, but the
you were not monitoring.
So I want to say hi to Fever Striker, Sophos 1990. Amen.
Hey Sophos.
And hello REHWO Gaming. Oh, RE Hardware? Maybe. Well, next topic, guys?
Yeah, sure. Move on, Truth. Let's go.
So, 0.0 unlock the mobile CPU.
Yeah.
So, Peter, can you explain a little bit more in the technical details what happened? So, first of all, so that's 0.0. And he used a mobile CPU that is supposed to be locked. So, you're not supposed to be able to overclock the multiplier and change the multiplier from it. But these guys managed to find a way to do it. You didn't want it to go too technical in the recorded OC show, but right now we have a little bit more time. So can you explain us what this is about?
Well, as far as I can gather from his explanations, what it basically boils down to is that he's using an old microcode, an old CPU microcode that does not have the proper locks for the turbo bits. So as you know, an Intel CPU, the overclocking. There's a couple of ways how you can overclock an Intel CPU from a technical view in terms of CPU registers. The most common one, and I think the one that is recommended by Intel, is by programming the turbo bit registries. So the Intel CPUs have a default multiplier, and everything that goes above that default multiplier is turbo. by default, Intel CPUs already have a couple of turbo modes enabled. So your CPU would, for example, clock up from 3.5 gigahertz default to 3.6, and with 4 CPUs enabled, 3.7, with 3 CPUs enabled, and so on to 3.9 gigahertz. Now, with locked CPUs, those turbo bins are locked. So you cannot go above the value that is set by Intel.
Yeah.
It turns out in this old microcode, the lock is not there. So you can program any value you want, no matter if your mobile CPU is locked or unlocked. I hope that explains a little bit.
So basically, he found a way to unlock his mobile chip somehow. The chip that was already unlocked, but locked by some kind of software limitation or like microcode limitation. Yeah.
But so that's the thing. Like Intel is locking the CPU down from the software point of view. Then,
I think it's the in the Nord Bridge. It's not the Nord Bridge anymore.
Chipset.
No, what's the correct? I forgot the correct terminology, but I think is it PCH. So Intel essentially locks those registers to a certain value. It basically there's a logic that says. When you write to that value, there's another logic that goes and check if that value can be written to that, or that register can have that value written in that register, essentially.
Okay.
So those registers, the registers.
Peter, go on.
The registers are unlocked for all CPUs. It's just that there's a piece of logic that will check which is the maximum value for that specific register. Yeah. So on unlocked CPUs, that maximum value is just it's not configured. For locked CPUs, there's the logic will say, only up to 39 or up to 40 or whatever.
Plus, then it also has a logic for temperature. So if it's higher, it just doesn't clock as high. Or
that's a whole separate.
That's a different thing. Okay, all right.
It's Intel CPUs are very complex.
Oh yeah, I don't know exactly how it works. It's good to know the procedure.
the microcode, is that something that is unlocked by the BIOS? Is that something that we could maybe see one day push to some other kind of motherboard outside of mobile?
So Intel provides CPU microcode to I think initially to the AMI. BIOS developer, and then they pass it on to all the motherboard vendors. But updating the CPU microcode isn't that difficult, and usually updates to the microcode are used to push bugs in Intel CPUs. So if there is a really big bug that is present in the Intel CPUs, Intel will ask all the motherboard manufacturers in their next BIOS update to also update the CPU microcode module inside the BIOS.
Okay. So if you would want to make your own microcode, that would be not possible, right?
There's only a handful of people that can write microcode.
Okay. That's like ASM kind of code, like.
I don't know the technical details, but it's not that easy to write your own microcode. But you can of course flash, or you can insert a microcode into a certain BIOS and
see what it does.
Yeah.
What if it fails? Can you break your CPU?
You cannot break your CPU, but you can break your motherboard.
Oh, okay.
So by doing this, if you want to try that in your own notebook, you can break your notebook.
So you have to make sure you have a way back.
Yeah.
Somehow. Because he was talking, there's an interview coming up with 0.0, eventually sometimes this week, because he already replied. And basically he's explaining in that interview that on one of his laptops there's a BIOS rescue mode that he didn't know, and even the other RMA center they didn't know about or didn't want it to tell him. And he figured out in some forum online, I think, how to access that mode so you could flash back to the original BIOS even once the motherboard was bricked. So yeah, you have to make sure you know how to get that done, or have a machine to flash a BIOS at home if you have one.
Well, this is a notebook, so it's a bit different than a desktop.
Yeah.
Even nowadays, there's a lot of motherboards.
Nowadays, you cannot pin it out anymore anyway.
Some motherboards support. I think some gigabyte boards actually have the physical.
So you could switch them to another chip. Or,
you know what that story remind me? I remember the X58 era when we had the UD4 and the UD4P. One was SLI compliant and the other one was not SLI compliant. That reminds me that people were using the BIOS from one of the motherboard to flash the other one, and then SLI is back. So that reminds me the same concept, but this one is a little bit more tricky. I hope personally that maybe one day we can just have this to be unlock, like once Skylake gonna be out, I think Intel won't care that much about having some Haswell lock CPU in the past to be tuned to a little bit more
there's
more stuff.
There's a couple of complications there. Number one is that it's old microcode. So in the newer microcode, there's other bugs that's fixed. So I don't think there's any notebook vendor that will go back to the old microcode just to support overclocking.
No,
because overclocking on notebooks is a bad idea anyway.
They will support it by like officially they will never support it anyway. But if we us overclockers can have access to this to unlock the stuff, that's like a lot more hardware that we can play with.
Yeah. The other problem is that it's not yet tested on desktop CPUs, so this might just be a bug with the mobile CPUs.
Yeah, or with that very specific version as well, right? Because the microcode doesn't work on older CPUs.
It does.
All of them.
Yeah.
No matter even new one, older ones.
Well, the same from the same series, like the same.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, same generation. Yeah. For all the models of that generation.
But the microcode is essentially it'll detect any CPU if your microcode is
compatible.
Yeah, new enough. Like you can. Do you guys remember in the old Wolfdale era when we were
wasn't born
when we were benching E8600 CPUs and. Some people figured out that they could get a boost in Super Pi 1M by I think about 350 milliseconds by switching to an old BIOS. That was essentially the same. The old BIOS had old microcode.
I think I remember that. Yeah.
It didn't have the recognition for the Wolfdale CPUs, so it could still run all those CPUs. It was just not recognized as, hey, this is a Wolfdale CPU, and it was for some reason faster.
Okay.
Is that the same trick as the 3D Mark 01 special tweak in the BIOS?
Possibly. I'm not sure what you're talking about.
There was like some BIOS version, like old ones, that had issue detecting some CPUs, and they were actually performing better in 3D Mark 01. So I was wondering if that was the same kind of trick that was pushed.
Possibly.
I'm not sure.
Well, anyway, who's still benching 3D Mark 01?
Oh yeah. Well, some people love legacy benchmarks.
It would be cool to see someone try this trick and then see how far you can take a mobile CPU. Because
I want to see it on the LM2.
I would assume that a mobile CPU is better bin, but I'm not sure about that. But I would
because
assume so.
For heat wise and
yeah.
Well, I guess that the first limitation that's going to be the CPU. That's going to be like the hardware around, like the motherboard and the settings you can access.
Well, things on
like the PWM delivery stuff like this.
Yeah, on laptop motherboards, everything is really close nearby. So I have to see what will happen with the code. Yeah.
What's also pretty funny is that if you look at the ranking, if you can click on the screenshot there, right?
Yeah.
So this 0.0, he got his CPU to 4.8 gigahertz, and he's marginally faster than Dancop at 4.2 gigahertz. So the core and the thread amount is the same.
Where's the ranking link? Is this one?
Possibly.
Click.
If I click on this, I cannot zoom on the ranking.
So there were some people on the live chat saying, "Hey, that's some good reverse engineering skills." Yes, of course. And we were actually making fun with Fever Striker and Transmit Uneven. It's like try, fail, try, fail, try, fail, try, win. Yeah, success!
Well, if you win not bad at all. It's 166 points, huh?
But you can see that a 4.8 gigahertz mobile chip is 602 points, and a 4.2 chip is about 590 points.
Yeah.
And that can only be explained by the tweaking of the memory, because the mobile chips have really unoverclockable SODIMM memory, whereas with the desktop counterparts, Dancop, they're all running PSC at ridiculously tight timings and ridiculously high frequency.
Yeah, but it's nice to have some stock CPU at the top of the rankings. It's interesting.
Well, I can't wait to see what's gonna happen in the next few months, and if people are gonna try that on the desktop CPUs. And I hope that they're gonna post a topic here on the forum of HWBot. That would be great.
Yeah, I'm sure some guys will test it. And if you guys want to learn more, just check out the interview of 0.0 that will come out this week. There's some interesting stuff, and this guy actually speaks and writes really well English, so it's a very nice interview as well. There's a lot of cool stuff in there.
Good. Maybe we can have him on one of the live show maybe later on.
Yeah, I asked him, and he was busy this weekend for work, so couldn't make it. We'll see if he can come next time.
We will see. So maybe when I'm gonna change my notebook for the upcoming Intel CPUs based one, maybe I will try to do that on mine too. Maybe it works.
Maybe it will not.
I guess it will not, but well, you can always try, right?
Yeah, for sure. Never desperate, truth. Keep pushing it.
Keep pushing, yeah, never stop, keep pushing. Third topic, I think we did talk a lot about the unlock of the mobile CPUs and so on. ESWC, Counter-Strike Global Offensive in Montreal.
Yeah, so how was that, Truth? You spent your whole weekend
there? So the ESWC World Cup, so the Electronic Sports World Cup was having the CSGO final here in Montreal, in Canada. I happen to know some of the guys from the organization, so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna stop by, even if I don't play CSGO at all, and didn't watch a game in like maybe a month. But that was great. There was some good games, to be honest. And I took the time to go and talk with the people, talk with the viewers, the visitors that were there on site.
Mm-hmm.
And I also took the time to talk to some of the gamers, and I was asking them, "Hey guys, you're playing on PC. What's your knowledge about the computer and the hardware that you have? Like, do you have some specific requirement and stuff like this?" And mostly they were saying, when we go into like this kind of events, we just have to bring our like keyboard, mousepad, and that's pretty much it. Because they don't bring their own computer.
The computers are provided, right?
Yeah, and they don't even know what's inside. So I was like, okay, do you guys still care? What would be like your recommendation and so on? We're gonna have a quick interview with Miss Harvey in the next few minutes. So Miss Harvey was one of the so that team that you can see right now on the screen. They were from Counter-Logic Gaming Red, and they won the ESWC final for the girls. They went back home with the 7,000 USD, yeah. and I took the time to just ask Miss Harvey right after this, like, hey, what do you think about the hardware and so on?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let me play that.
Can you cue it in?
Yep. Let me just deactivate this overlay.
Hey guys, Truthman from OverClocking-TV, and I'm here with Miss Harvey from Counter-Logic Gaming Red Team, right? We're in Montreal at the ESWC 2015 edition for the CSGO final. And I have a few questions for you guys. You guys are pro gamers. You play on PC, of course, you play Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Do you have any interest in the computer itself or more in the peripheral that you guys use?
Both. I guess the computer is super important because CSGO requires a lot of computer power, like a lot of CPU. I also happen to stream, so I have a dual PC set up at home, so yeah, it's really important, both. Obviously, when we go to the events, we don't know what's going to be in the computer, so then our gear is the most important thing. But if they don't provide us with amazing computers, then we're screwed.
Well, what would be your first or two most important requirement for a computer that you want to build for this kind of?
The truth. That was it.
Oh yeah, because I don't have the sound feedback, so I didn't know at all what was going on.
Me neither, actually.
So I hope that you guys on the stream got the sound.
I think not, so. Yeah. It seemed the meter was moving, so I think it was fine. Yeah.
Let's check with the chat.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Truth, tell us the story. What is she saying?
So basically, she was saying that as a programmer, because Miss Harvey, she's doing a podcast. Actually, she has 2 podcasts. She's casting a lot and doing that stuff. So she have like 2 computers at home, and yeah, she knows what's in her computer. She knows that I ask her like what is the requirement that you have for your gaming system, stuff like this. She says, oh yeah, I need like why not like a big CPU, and then if I need the graphic cards. But what I had over this weekend, and I did talk with a lot of people, is if they don't do casting, they pretty much don't care that much what's in the computer as long as they can play. Especially for CSGO, say as long as I have the highest FPS I can, no tearing and no lag in the game. Yeah. I don't pretty much don't care what's in the game. But if the guys are casting, like we're doing like now, like doing casting on Twitch and so on, they do know a little bit more about the hardware because they have to build their own computers to meet the requirement for casting. So like bigger CPU, like more RAM and stuff like this. And turn out that most of the people in these games and the most of the people I talk with, I cannot say it's like all the gamers, they say, I told them, like, do you prefer spending money on a new CPU or a new graphic card or on a new keyboard and a new mouse? And they all say, I just prefer the peripheral because that's the one that's get used most often. And from what I could have some discussions, like we can see that always heard that the CPU, the PC market is going down and so on. It's just that it's so powerful that you don't need to upgrade every 6 months to play the game. The game doesn't change the requirements, and CS:GO is not. It's out for like quite a few time now. So you don't need to upgrade like the complete system for just still playing the same game 6 months after.
Well, I guess that's pretty common anyway. Like especially the games haven't been changing much. Yeah, like I mean, even if you look at League of Legends or Dota or all those games, they're the same games since already. Dota, like
you don't need that many power. Like don't need that much power.
You don't need that much power. Plus the games actually there's not that many releases. Like there's some updates of packages, but it doesn't increase the graphics at all. So it's the same. It's the same thing than a few years ago. Yes. So no difference. So I guess that's why probably they don't care so much. And like you say, the ones that actually do care about the hardware, people that make more casting or streaming because they need powerful PCs to do transcoding, and probably not for the game purpose to begin with.
Yeah, true. And I talk with the visitors, I talk with the gamers, and I also talk with some of the managers for some of the teams. Sadly, one of the managers I talked with was one of the teams that didn't went that far in the competitions. But he was telling me, it's like, some of the guys from the team they don't care at all what's in the PC. But some of them they knew what's going on. They do some overclocking on it. Like, okay, so you can play the same game and have like two different kind of knowledge about what's inside the your requirements. And it's always this. I'm a bit sad, to be honest, to see that even PC gamers sometimes don't care that much about what's in their computer, because that's the primary target for the market.
True, I agree. Yeah.
Well, if there is a new game and you need new requirements, then you're gonna upgrade, of course. And if the game's still the same for like 6 years, there's no need to upgrade for the next 6 years.
Yeah. Well, also what you notice from I listened to the when she was talking before, and basically also you notice that when they talk about the hardware, they know the different brands, but they would not know, for instance, to the detail, of which CPU model they would have or what architecture is running, or like having down to at best knowing the brand of the motherboard and the brand of the CPU. For example, if you say Gigabyte and Intel, that's already pretty good. Like if you know what motherboard you have in your PC, but they would not say like Z97, X99, Z87.
But no, gaming is about branding, right? You don't. That's the thing. Like most companies just promote like product to it. Like, yes, of course you have to promote that, but keep in mind that the branding is the most important thing. Like people need to know your brand. I was talking with some of the guests from the organization, and says, "Oh, what do you think about Rocket?" Like, depends. Like the company might be great. I never tried any of their stuff, so I cannot really say. And when you talk to some of the like gamers and visitors that are older gamers but not at the same level, and says, "Oh yeah, so no, when you talk about hardware, like what do you think?" Like, "Oh okay, I think about Asus, I think about MSI, I think about Gigabyte, stuff like this." It's like, okay, but no, do you have a specific product in mind? And usually it's like, no, I know the brand. I don't really care about the final product I will take, as long as I can get the performances I need. Yeah. So no, once again, like it shows a lot that it's all about the branding and not about like the complete detailed hardware that they have.
Yeah. May I have a question regarding the event? So I'm seeing the pictures now that you shot there. ESWC, that's a big event, right?
Yep.
But if you look at it, it's very similar. I mean, like it's not more grandiose than MOAs back then, right? Like 2 years ago or 3 years ago. It's not much more impressive in terms of. like if you compare it, for example, to the ESL1 or like it's a very different kind of tournament.
If you compared ESWC with ESL and IEM, I think it's not the same target. They have the same target on the viewership. Actually, the stream from today, I think they broke one of the record of the most watched Counter-Strike games, something like this. I think there were like over 175k viewers at the same time.
Okay.
The ESWC final, so that was just the final for CSGO. So there was only one game and only this final, and that was lasting for 3 days. The location was not that big indeed, but it was much better than last year. Last year that was just the like North America qualification, and you compare with MOA. It was maybe like twice the size of MOA. Like not the one at the stadium, because the stadium was like huge for the overclocking competition. But overall, that was like maybe like 2 times bigger than the MOA. The number of people there was also like quite interesting. There was like a lot of teams, but they were not playing all at the same times.
Yeah. So what were they waiting and doing in between when they were not playing?
Well, some of the guys went to visit Montreal. Some of the guys stayed around to watch the match. The video you see are the video from today. So that's the last day, and that's like the quarterfinal and the finals. So. There was not much people staying there for just playing, because most of the guys that were out on Friday evening just went into the city and just went visiting stuff.
And then a lot of people watch online, right? So they don't necessarily come to the venue as well to watch the games.
The venue had a limited capacity.
Okay,
the organizers say they sell 100 tickets, the regular pass. I think that was like 80 USD, something like this.
Okay.
And they sell 50 special VIP tickets with like the special access to the relax area for the gamers and so on.
Yeah.
And that was like $180 for 3 days. So if you think about that, it's like 150 tickets, and they had extra 50 tickets each morning. So maximum is like 200 people. So it's not much, but you can see that the target is not to have these to have the number of people on location. The target was to have them on the live, and you can see that from like the casting, that they had the crew casting all the way and so on.
Yeah, well,
but I did like the way just you saw before. They had like a
360 kind of stuff.
Yeah, 360 thing, and you can just go there and relax. Actually, fall asleep this morning watching that.
You were pretty much very interested, I guess.
But it was good. I mean, the feedback from the people was great, and most people were impressed that this is happening in Montreal. That's the first time this is so big in Montreal. It's like, sometimes I feel like I could do like an overclocking competition like this. Peter?
Sure. Why not?
well,
$1 million.
No, you don't need that much.
Well, you don't need. I do need.
Well, if you count the total of people, it's quite interesting. Like there was that many people almost at the World Tour. Like if you look, so it's pretty. Alright.
If you count the foot traffic, we had more people at the World Tour than the ESWC. But if you count,
but after live,
traffic,
for sure, very different.
Of course. Numbers.
Yeah. No, it's very cool. It's nice they had it in Montreal.
Yeah, I hope they're gonna do the same next year.
Yep. So shall we move on to the next topic?
Sure. Debating.
Because I have things to do after today.
Yeah, it's already almost an hour. We're in the show. So Skylake. What's going on with Skylake? So the upcoming new CPU from Intel. They are around the corner. And is the date public, or can we talk about the leaks that?
We can talk about the leaks that leaked the date, the location, and the results.
So pretty much someone leaked the all information.
Yeah, I think Peter, you read the leaked review, right?
I saw it pass by on.
What was it? This one?
No, it should be Kid Guru. I saw it pass by during the weekend.
I saw the one from WCCF Tech.
They took it from Kid Guru, I think.
Oh, okay. Stealing numbers.
Let me check the page. I'm gonna share the screen.
So yeah, Skylake is the new upcoming new Intel CPU that's gonna based on the Z170 chipset, and they were comparing it with the 4700K,
Yes.
and well, we can sell the we can sell the conclusion is it's not impressive increase in terms of performances. You guys having some issue finding the right?
Yeah, I'm looking for the right leak.
Oh, maybe it's pulled off. Maybe someone the third link.
The third one?
No,
That's
some
too
fellow.
suspect.
Just look on
Maybe
recent
someone
last
got
week.
a call from Intel to remove that.
No, I don't think so. Said last week.
So yeah. So
There's a
you
rumor.
guys on the live chat, what do you expect from
Maybe.
Skylake? The
Was
upcoming
it ET Pro?
No,
No.
the news got shared, I suppose. I saw it pass by this week.
Yeah, leak.
I think the title was a clickbait. It says 30% performance gain in Skylake over Haswell 4790K, and well, that 30% was purely from the IGP. If you look at CPU performance over Haswell, it's more about 5 to 10%. There you go.
Yep.
Second one here.
Oh yeah, the catchy clickbait headline.
Yeah, of
Up
course.
to 29% faster. Well, actually, it's like 5.
Well, you can go down, you can scroll down, and they have all the performance out there.
So
So
there's no 30%. Like at no point. Like just 29.1 just in Cinebench.
yeah. So
Well, and then it's Cinebench OpenGL, so that's the internal GPU.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
correct.
That's IGPM.
So same with Skydiver and CloudGate. That's all both run on the IGP. If you look at Firestrike Extreme with the GTX 970, it's actually 1 to 2% slower, which is, I suppose, within the margin of error. Yeah, so
And that could be the BIOS optimization too. I mean, the platform is not even out yet.
Oh yeah, for sure. Those are early results, right? But
I don't really know where they actually got the numbers from. So it's difficult to verify whether or not the numbers are correct. It seems a bit strange, I would say. I heard it would be.
yeah, because they say it comes from TechBank. Website has obtained a sample of the Intel Core i7
So it's like a retake of some leaks from someone that had information. So no, it's always the same thing. It's not out yet, so
It's just
you always have to add a little bit the grain of salt to all that.
As it appears, Intel's forthcoming flagship chip for enthusiasts will be up to 29.1% faster than the company's current Core i7 4790K central processing unit.
which 4790 is. Yeah.
Peter, do we already have results on HWBot that we can claim?
You can use the HWBot search engine.
Actually, yes.
There's one, right? Like I remember
one-
you shared
no
a
one-
screenshot.
No one can see it. But yes,
It's
there's.
hidden.
I think there was already 3.
Uh,
That was like 2 weeks ago. But no one can see it. It's actually, I should check. There should be.
Well, I'm actually checking right now if I can find something.
There should not be anything visible.
yeah. Yeah, after because
Well,
they say
So
based on
that's
the communities
early,
table
early-
created by computer base that they.
Well, the original story comes from TechBang,
Yeah.
which is a
Chinese site.
Bang.
Oh, they benchmark on an ECS Z170 Claymore.
That's the board that
Wow.
that is where they had all the pictures as well and stuff like that.
That's pretty hilarious.
You mean what? Benching on ECS or publishing the reviews before?
It's an interesting strategy to have leaks out of CPUs or GPUs as early as possible because you get all the SEO.
Yeah, for your motherboard
Yeah.
name or.
So it's
So it's a trade-off between like being kicked by Intel and having all the SEO for your product.
yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah, you just have to bet that the worst thing will happen is that you will get kicked and have good sales. Because if both
Well, that
bad
well,
things go
they-
out, then
well, look at the end. They say they use the MSI gaming motherboard, so that was for the 790K.
that was for the 4790. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So guys on the live chat, let us know what you think about that. Do you think it's true scores? Do you think it's too soon? I do
too soon to be true.
It's too soon to be true.
Who knows? Yeah.
Oh, there's one. Fever Striker is very, very.
Oh, no, nice! Well, it's possible, you know. Like some guys also make up stuff to get more clicks on their website because it's a trending topic anyway, and they will know. Like some site will take it up. After I haven't seen like some of the big publications took the news, but not all of them. Like hardware.info, I think they renewed some things about it, but like everyone is like taking it with, you know, yes.
A massive bag of salt.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you know, yeah, it can be like
salt bagging.
Salt bagging.
So now the review sites are salt bagging.
Well, the review sites, some of them already have maybe the boards and chips. We don't know, right? Because like there's gonna be probably some press sharing stuff before, so they can prepare their reviews. Because according to that article, anyway, was it this one where they were talking about the launch date?
Might be the Kiguro one.
The Kiguro one that was mentioned at Gamescom. And
so then we can talk about the launch date now. Then.
Well, I read that somewhere this weekend. It was mentioning. It's not this one.
Not here. No.
They were mentioning Gamescom and something like the 5th of August.
I think the one that Fever Striker posted in.
So that's like in less than 1 month. In less than a month.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So that's the one. Yeah. So that's the picture of the board they were using.
So according to the leak, they will release Intel will release their next generation CPU during Gamescom. So that's like in at Gamescom next month, and they will then show off a lot of things at IDF, I guess, because I would have expected them to wait for IDF at the end of August, but maybe it's a bit too late to get to the back to school sales. The back to school is actually something very important for all the manufacturers and especially Intel. They didn't release anything since the Haswell refresh last year, so maybe they want to cash in for the back to school and then the Xmas season.
Well, yeah, it's also interesting that they launched it at Gamescom instead of doing a big launch at IDF, just IDF. So it means also that the target for this chip is definitely the gaming audience.
Well,
like they could have
working mobile for 3 years. Maybe they want to get back into gaming more than just doing the IEM. And
well, if you look what they did at the back in Haswell time, like it was not the same type of launch. It was like, you know, during Computex and different. Like I guess they probably decided to test out this way and see how that works. Away of the traditional tech fairs and.
Do you think we'll be able to get one of the sample to be like to do a live like during the Gamescom or be at Gamescom?
Huh? What?
Timothée, do you want to fly back to Europe to be at Gamescom and just test the pre-release hardware?
Yeah, Gamescom will be limited to air cooling unless we can smuggle in some dry ice like it happened in the past.
You're gonna get into some issue with the security there.
Well, with dry ice it's fine as long as you make holes in your thermal flask and that you pass quickly so the smoke doesn't come out of the luggage when you pass.
Well, that's the thing. We do not know how that will react under LN2 yet. No.
Well, right now there's no results that have been posted on the LN2, so we don't know.
So we have no clue on the real test performances. That is just a leaks that we could build on. Take into account that there's a lot of change in a lot of settings. The chipset is changing from the Z97 to Z170. The memory is changing from DDR3 to DDR4. So that's gonna be a lot of change. Then it's early revision for the BIOSes. And no, I don't trust that much the ECS BIOS tweaking skills. So we're gonna
your ECS BIOS tweaking skills. Yeah,
well, BIOS making. Well, they do know how to make BIOS. I mean, they do a lot of products, so they know how to do it, right?
For sure.
But they don't focus on overclocking, and they don't focus on they do try to focus on gaming. But
yeah. Well, for me, I think the whole Skylake thing is going to be interesting for what we are doing in terms of stream and things like this. That's the essentially exciting part for me. I mean, of course, the overclocking results are one part, but for day-to-day use, transcoding, that's what I'm interested in. I want to see how it performs better in terms of transcoding H.264 on the fly compared
Well,
to
you're gonna have
4790K.
transferring on
or-
H265 and HEVC like the
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna be anywhere standard in YouTube or stream stuff anytime soon. So that's interesting. That's new technology. I have a friend that has a 4K camera that do H265, I think, like a Samsung 4K micro four thirds stuff, and he says it's just a pain. It's unusable on any machine. There's no hardware decoding for it, so it's all software. So it's absolutely no point at the moment. And I don't know if those chips come with H265 hardware decoding or not, so I would not be able to tell you. Maybe they have.
Well,
that would be interesting.
That would be interesting indeed. Peter, what is your biggest expectation regarding Skylake?
14 nanometer?
Good question. No, they get rid of the fiver, right? So overclocking might be a bit more interesting on
less
the
cold box, right?
Yeah, and on the extreme side.
So can you explain a little bit more why that will unleash
Well,
the
it's not really a direct correlation. It's just that in the Haswell CPUs, the fiver, which is the integrated power circuit on the CPU die, was a limiting factor for extreme overclocking. So they removed it from Skylake. So you'll see all the motherboards with the external VRM again, and provided that all the other characteristics are there, it might be better for extreme overclocking.
Yeah, as you guys are talking, I'm walking through the Reddit, discussing the news.
Peter, you talk about the VRM and all that. That means the motherboard gonna have more settings and more impact on the final overclocking scalability of the CPU.
Yeah. Yes.
That was the shortest answer for the day. Yep.
Of course.
So that means we're gonna have a race for the number of phase again and the power draw output that you can take.
No, that for sure no, because Skylake will be using less power to begin with. So we don't no longer have these mastodons of CPUs. It's not like a Haswell E where you can get 500 watts just from the CPU socket or from the CPU only.
Yeah, for sure. And socket wise, like there's a question from Celt6. It says that 6700 is a 1151 socket. What happened to that? And other motherboard manufacturer like Asus is probably gonna make a new upgrade motherboards, etc. Of course, all new boards coming out. That's for sure.
Yep.
Well, they have a complete set of hardware going on with that CPU. So the Z170 chipset. So like all the refresh of the motherboard, like everything is everyone is changing everything again. That's funny to see that Intel is doing what AMD was doing like 8 or 10 years ago, like changing socket every few years, like every 2 years or so.
Well, it's a good way to help to. That was the thing with Z87 and Z97, right? It was the same chipset, the same socket. So
pretty much the same chipset too. So
yeah, well,
so
yeah, a lot of people, I guess, just put the Haswell, like the new Haswell CPUs on their Z87 motherboard if they were running properly and they didn't want it to upgrade memory if that was not a limit or something. So
there are people on the live chat like Fever Striker that is saying like, damn, the price is going to be insane. Why don't they stick to one of the actual sockets? Well, I don't think the price gonna be many difference.
I think price should be about it should be about the same than the regular board, like between 150 and 250 to 300 euros.
Skylake is a mainstream platform that's supposed to replace the Haswell line.
4770K.
So it's going to be more affordable than X99.
For sure, yeah. Yeah, it's not going to be $1,000 CPUs. Well, I don't think so. There's only 4 core, guys. It can only be limited. Actually, that's the sad part. That's probably the thing I like the less is the 4 cores. I would have wished 6 cores.
I made
a bit more.
I made a forum post commenting on. I'm not sure it was a leak or something like. I think it was on the unlocked CPU stuff. If you think about the mainstream platform or what is affordable, mainstream users have been on 8 threads since the Core i7 920 Neo. when you had the i7-920. And if you think about quad cores, mainstream users have been on it since the Q6600, the second revision. I think it was the G0 chip, which was priced around $260 US, and that was in 2006 probably.
That's probably around the time I was benching in your living room.
2007, yeah. 2007, 2008. So that's almost 9 years with a quad-core CPU for mainstream users.
It's I guess they do it because they probably think most people don't need the extra cores, but there's some guys, the jump right now from those CPUs to X99 is still a pretty big investment. There would be space for in between with 6 cores. Definitely. Well, I think. After maybe there must be some other reasons.
There was some more question regarding the memory, especially that moving from DDR3 to DDR4. Yes, of course, the memory might be more expensive at the beginning because right now only the X99 platform is using DDR4.
Yeah, but price is gonna drop down quick.
It's going mainstream, so that the price will drop because of the numbers of SKU available and the production output.
Also, you only need 2 instead of 4.
Yeah, so the people buying memory will be there would be more kits out of what the manufacturer can produce. Because for X99, usually it was hard to find the kits with all the DIMMs at the very high speeds, so those were more expensive, for sure.
Well, there was also a question regarding the frequency that we could expect from
CPU
the Skylake
frequency?
CPUs. I saw a lot of overclockers binning the DDR4 already, so...
Well, here for the CPU speed, it's all
Well, it's all at stock, though.
Alright, so for memory overclocking on Skylake, you have to keep in mind that the XMP ratings when announced for DDR4 go all the way up to 4000.
So we can expect like 4 GHz RAM on the mainstream platform.
Yeah.
Well,
2 gigahertz.
Well, yeah, 2 GHz. Sorry. So that's gonna be like pretty common because usually like people go over the XMP requirements. Maybe not at first time, but I think in the next before Christmas, I'm sure that's going to be mainstream.
Depends on the memory ICs as well. So once the second generation, or maybe already the third generation of DDR4 comes out, it'll be more has a higher ability of higher clocks. When a Fever Striker was asking on the chat 2 instead of 4, what I mean is that on X99 you need 4 DIMMs to populate your quad channel system. On Skylake you only need 2 DIMMs to populate your dual channel system.
Yeah. 2 in the banks and it boots. But yeah.
Well, so summing up, what do you expect, Timothy, from Skylake?
So more and more and more. No, they say 30%. It's I don't think gonna be 30% everywhere, but it's gonna be definitely interesting. New platform, new motherboards, new socket, new CPUs all around. Launch date, according to those sites, is August 5th at the Gamescom in Germany, which is the biggest gaming convention in Europe, I think. So it's gonna be a gaming launch event, I suppose. It's gonna be quite interesting. It would be great to be there to just see what we can do there, but I'm not sure there's activities planned right now in terms of overclocking. CPU, like we said, it's going to be only with DDR4, so it's going to be also something new and interesting. I'm still waiting to see on my side, transcoding wise and memory bandwidth wise, what it's going to be like compared to X99, which is the only comparable reference we have in DDR4 plus CPU kind of combo. And so it's going to be pretty interesting.
Little Chronic was asking in the chat if it will be faster than a 5820K. Single-threaded performance might be faster than the 5820K. Multi-threaded, you're still going to only have 4 cores versus 6 cores.
So X99 is still going to be faster for heavily multi-threaded apps, for sure.
Peter, if you have to sum up your expectation for Skylake, what would that be?
I just wanted to clock higher than Haswell on LN2, I suppose.
Hopefully no code bug then, well, or less.
No code bug, that would be cool, yeah.
That would be amazing.
That would be cool. That would be insane.
We'll see.
Welcome back to the helium.
We can't already get LN2 at Gamescom, so don't even think about helium.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Like I over the years, I've learned to temper my expectations. Just wait and see what's coming out. I really hope that I genuinely hope that the CPU is significantly faster than the Haswell generation. I think a lot of enthusiasts and a lot of power users are waiting for something that rocks their world, essentially, and not just 10% performance gain.
Well, everyone is expecting the Conroy effect again.
Yeah, hoping for at least.
Overclocking wise, yeah, we'll see.
Pentium version of the Skylake that's unlocked.
That would be great, but
I hope they do it. I'm not sure they will do it.
The Intel 2nd anniversary edition.
Yeah, I don't know if they will do
One
it.
every year.
The anniversary edition reloaded or something like this. That would be. Well, I think that would be great. A lot of people love that chip, but.
Well, I still love the G3258. That's the easiest one to start with, and that's the one that I just want to do some.
In my opinion, they should have one unlocked SKU for every product range.
Yeah.
So one
like
i7,
saying,
one i5, one i3, one Pentium, and one Celeron that is unlocked.
And one Atom.
So one what?
Atom chips unlocked.
Oh, an Atom.
Atom chips. Yeah. Why not?
That would be great.
Sure.
Actually, on my side, I do expect more overclocking, power and tweaking that you can get to it. I would like to not have again this benching 200 CPUs to get one good. Of course, there will always be this kind of tweaking. I would say like tweaking on the numbers, but I would expect that having some more extra stuff on the motherboard would although help to differentiate the different products. So it's more like about what's going on after. Of course, I would expect more than the 5% that we saw in the leak that we discussed today. And I will be very honest. I would expect a lot from the mobile version of that CPU.
Yeah, well, suspense. I also need a laptop upgrade. So I'm still waiting, but I'm not gonna go to Haswell anymore. So now I have to wait for Skylake Mobile. For sure.
So that's the thing, the leak are going on. We all know there's a new CPU and a platform coming by the end of the year, actually next month. So everyone is actually, I guess, holding on what they have. Don't forget, guys, there is the Z97 competition still going on HWBot and oc-esports.io. The Z97 last Ray challenged by Gigabytes. If you have a Gigabyte motherboard from D97 socket chipset, you can use it right now to win some unreleased hardware. So
and some cash. And some cash,
of course.
Because you're gonna need DDR4 if you win the motherboard.
And if you have an Asus motherboard, you can always compete in the ROG OC Showdown Formula round 2 or 3, not 3, round 3?
Round 2. Formula round 2.
Yeah, round 2. Anyway, the Asus competitions on oc-esports.io. I think we will call it a day with a little bit more over than 1 hour. We had a lot of topic today. If you guys have any questions or you are watching the replay on YouTube, don't forget to ask us questions in the commentary. We always try to pass by and answer that to you guys. If you have if you want to see this live, that's gonna be in 2 weeks from now on Sunday evening 9 p.m. Actually, from now that's gonna be. I have to check the dates. That's gonna be on the 26th of July, and that will be the last show before the release of Skylake. So we're gonna have a lot of stuff to talk.
There will be a lot more leaks, I think, by then. And definitely more pictures of motherboards out. I wouldn't be surprised.
Well,
every time.
And don't forget, guys, you can always subscribe here on Twitch. The follow buttons, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, and don't hesitate to share that on the social media, of course. For all the guys that did watch this video and that did receive some of our giveaway from the previous stream that we had, don't forget, you can always send us a picture on our Facebook fan page, and we'll be ready to republish that with your shootout to your friends. And don't forget, we also have an Instagram account. Actually, that's Timothée managing that account. And well, that's it. Thank you, Peter, for being with us today.
Thank you very much for having me.
Guys welcome. I wish you guys to have a good week in Taipei, Taiwan. Thank you, Timothée, for producing that show, doing all the click and.
Yeah, it's getting a bit better. Still need some improvements. Actually, I need something to lift my monitors because they're too low. I need to have them at a camera level.
As now we have the new studio in Taipei, you do have to train on that to make sure that.
No, it's good. We have better bandwidth, so definitely better to do it from here.
And there's less back and forth for the stream.
There will definitely be a Skylake upgrade on that machine very soon, I can tell you.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Thank you, Lil Chronic, Fever Striker, Alan Alberinos, and Transmit Uneven. Thank you guys for sticking around, and Set6 too. I think we're gonna see you in 2 weeks from now, and until then, keep pushing it.
Keep pushing it.